Hey, it's your man Simeon, and we are here giving a voice to the people. Thank you so much for joining. I'm back from California, and I'm back in Chicago in this cold weather. As we say in Chicago, the hawk is out. And guess what? The Bears have finally won another game. We got to give it up for them. But I have a great show lined up for you today. I have my man, Gilliard. He is in town from California. He came to this cold weather just for his boy and for you to be on the Simeon Henderson Show, where we're giving a voice to the people. We're going to hear his story and what's going on. And hopefully we can send him back where there's no more fires out in California, right? And besides that, I have an awesome young man who's going to be up next. His name is King Melik, and he is very versatile. And when you see the interview and you get to see what he can do, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So hold on to your seat, because we are about to take off on the Simeon Henderson Show, where we're giving a voice to the people. All right, everybody, you're watching the Simeon Henderson Show, where we're giving a voice to the people. First, let me give a quick shout out to my executive producer, Jamani and Amdi, out in Miami, Florida, and my awesome producer right here, Jose Perez, and my marketing director and manager, Ashley Easley. I want to give you guys a big shout out. So I'm sitting here with the one and only, the young, talented, I like to call him a phenom, Mr. King Melik. How you doing? Welcome to the Simeon Henderson Show.
You. Thanks for having me.
Man, so we're going to get right into this.
For sure.
So now you guys are looking at this young man. You're probably wondering what he does. Well, he does a plethora of things. He is very talented, multi-talented, and we're going to start off. He's a hip-hop artist.
Yeah, I am.
So, and we're going to go into, and he's also a violinist. Yes, he's a violinist. I know you probably guys are, yeah, hip-hop artists, I can see that. Violinist, don't sleep on the skills. I want to show you something, and then we'll be right back. Take a look at King Melik.
Louis on my body, yes, I flexed it. Now let's show you wanna be my best friend. Yellow baby butter from my necklace. I know I got the sauce, I can help it.
Hey.
Now she trying to find out who I'm texting. They just trying to find out who I'm next with. My phone is blowing up every second. The money calling, I just got a message. I said I'm on the way.
All right, was I right or was I right? King Melik, you're very talented. So I want to start with this.
Okay.
Your education.
Education.
You're 18 years old. You hear that, young people? Old people watching? Let your young people watch this too. You're 18 years old. And I think you were homeschooled, right?
Yeah, I was homeschooled my entire life. My parents chose a non-traditional path.
Okay.
And I graduated homeschooling, being a part of, several homeschooling associations. I finally graduated from Teen Essentials and the Indigo Nation Homeschool Association.
Okay, so I have to ask you this.
Yeah.
When we think about homeschool, we think about home, right?
Right.
What was it like being at home and not being out in the public around people? What was your social life like?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. Everybody always misjudges homeschoolers for not being that social.
Right.
I was in a lot of things, with violin. I was in karate for a minute, orchestras, conservatory. So it was a bunch of, social, noise around me, so I could practice that. I have a brother and a sister who were also homeschooled for periods of their time. So, I was always, ready to talk.
I can see the karate thing, the whole Jaden Smith Karate Kid type thing going on with the hair, the bandana, But I just want to say, man, I've been very impressed with your work and watching what you're doing. And the cool thing about me getting to interview you is I get to go in depth. I get to find out who you really are, what you're doing, how you got there, and how you're thriving. And what I want to say is this. You performed with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra?
I did.
What was that like?
Oh yeah, it was always a dream come true to perform at such a great venue like that. Being a young African American, you don't
Yes.
really see a lot of us playing a classical instrument and being very dedicated to it. So it was a dream come true for me.
And the thing I like about you, you're changing the narrative of young African American males. I mean, isn't he? You're changing the narrative. You're not only a hip hop artist, which a lot of our young Black African American and brown kids love. Well, everybody love it. But you're a violinist. You've been in an orchestra, and you're performing in front of different crowds, and you're doing it.
Yeah.
And what's your inspiration?
Oh man, I have a number of inspirations. One of them, classically, Yo-Yo Ma. That's my boy. I got a master class with Yo-Yo Ma, one of the greatest cellists to ever live.
One of the greatest what?
Cellists.
Cellists. You hear that?
Yeah, you know, he's a big inspiration. My brother plays cello.
Okay.
And that's somebody he always looks up to. Definitely somebody like Chance the Rapper, who isn't really, you know, rap. He's a very fun-loving guy. I got the, you know, opportunity to be mentored him with a number of other students downtown at the Harold Washington Library, since he has open mics. So it was amazing. Yeah.
So wait a minute. Now, King, let me ask you this. It's okay if I just call you King?
Yeah, just call me King.
King, because you're a young king. I like that.
Yes,
I like
sir.
that.
That's
Young
why
king.
I call myself King.
So you were classically trained at the age of 6.
Yeah.
So starting at 6, when people like my producer Jose was probably playing Nintendo or ColecoVision, and I don't know what I was doing at that when he. I like messing with Jose. He knows that, so he got to take it. Okay. But you were classically trained at the age of 6.
Yeah.
What was it like for you to go into that type of mode at 6 years old? You're talking about kindergarten or first grade.
Yeah. Definitely. My mom was very involved in my life. Shout out Bridget Thompson. I love you so much. She was my teacher. She was my mom, my role model. So, you know, as a homeschool kid, we have a lot of time. So, you know, practicing violin or any instrument takes so much time and so much effort. So, that was a whole different subject.
Yes. Yeah. So the thing I love about you, man, you're an exemplary role model for young people. Not only young people, but older people. We can all take a page out of your book when it comes to hard work, perseverance, right?
Yeah.
Determination. And these are things that I always look for in people being successful. I always say if you stay consistent and committed and you stay faithful and focused, that the sky, there's no limit to the sky. Absolutely. And you'll have whatever it is that you want. And man, so let me get to this. You've been doing performances everywhere. You performed at the Universal Circus.
I did.
What was that like? It
was one of the most energetic performances ever. A guest ringmaster, Shelton Smith, went crazy. Me and my brother performed. It was just so much energy. Like I wish I could relive that day.
So you and your brother performed?
Yeah.
Did he play an instrument? Did he play the cello?
Yeah, he's a cellist. He's been playing for 10 years.
He's been playing for 10 years. And what did you do when he played the cello?
I was rapping.
Give me a little 10-second taste of it.
Of my rap?
Yeah.
Okay. On the spot. Let's get it. I miss those days when I'm happy, when my hair was so nappy, when my mind wasn't nasty, never want to be naughty. When I was watching cartoons, man, I love Scooby and Shaggy, just kicking it in my room, wanting to eat Krabby Patties, asking my mom, what are these? As she was snatching your panties, she looked at me with insanity, and yo, boy, go ask your daddy, having dreams after dreams of moving to Cali with a bunch of money without focusing reality. I miss those days when I'm young, playing ball in the sun. Y'all already know that I want to be #1. Bro, that was so much fun. Before we had all these guns, when we didn't have to run from the cops or anyone, when we believed in Cupid, break some glass in your curse, when all us kids were clueless, adults knew how to censor, when we could listen to music without hearing some slurs. I miss those days when stupid was still a bad word, yo.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Your performances have given African American teenagers and African Americans exposing our culture in our community to a culture that we need to step into. When you talk about the hip hop genre and you talk about the orchestra and things like that, it's just, man, it's a pleasure to see you. And let me ask you this. So you've been performing, and I have in my notes that you are going to be performing at the Taste of Chicago coming up in 2020.
Yes, sir.
And what else are you going to be doing in 2020?
2020, I have a lot of things going on. I'm not gonna announce everything.
Just tell us one thing, and you got to follow him for the rest.
Oh yeah, okay. One big thing, I'm dropping my debut project with the love of my life, Luna Monet.
Okay.
January 25th, and man, I was not supposed to say that. You really got that out of me.
It's all good. So, I don't know what's going on with these kids nowadays. He's 18 years old. He's already in love. I don't get that. But hey, I guess it's the millennials, right? So King Melik, he was featured on Windy City Live. He was at the Universal Circus, and he's going to be performing in 2020 at various places. His album's going to be dropping. You have to be on the lookout for this young man. This young king is phenomenal, and he is raising the culture. He's raising the bar, and he is going to be a pillar of the community. And you've worked with Chance the Rapper.
Yeah, I got the opportunity to open up for him at the Night at the Museum performance last year.
And what was that like?
That was crazy. I got the call by Justin, the head of social work. So they've been doing so much for the community.
Right.
And I arranged the orchestra, and we just all played together.
And one thing I don't want to forget is you're going to be featured on ABC's Heart and Soul in 2020. Yeah. And you'll be performing on there, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm super excited.
So you got a lot coming up.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to go.
Man, it's a pleasure to sit down with you, young man.
Thanks so much, man.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can follow me on all social media platforms at The King Melik. That's TheKingMelik.
Is there anything that you want to tell the people that I might have forgotten to ask?
This is a great host, yo. That is one of the best hosts ever, and I'm glad I got to be on the show. Everybody,
King Melik, young phenom, he's doing this thing, and I am so proud of him. Make sure you stay on the lookout for him. Big shout out to my brother, my Phi Beta Sigma brother, Shelton Smith, for bringing this young man to the Simeon Henderson Show. I thank your mom and your dad. They're doing a great job. And remember, young people, you can do and be whatever you want to be. We will be right back on the Simeon Henderson Show.
Absolutely.
Welcome back to the Simeon Henderson Show, where we're giving a voice to the people. I hope you enjoyed young King Melik. He is a force to be reckoned with, and he is powerful for the culture and the community. So be on the lookout for him, because he will be back on the Simeon Henderson Show. Our next guest coming up, Carl Gilliard. He's an actor, director, and producer, and he got his start as a radio announcer for WGPR in Detroit. So I want to show you a quick clip of him in Issa Rae's award, Emmy-winning web series, Creative Color, Giants. Check him out in this clip. Let's see what Carl is working with.
Good. Yeah. Well, we should be seeing an improvement in your anxiety soon. But in the meantime, Journey, I need for you to find reasons to get up and get out. Doesn't matter whether you're buying a magazine or getting your hair done. People will see you, and you will see people. Don't let this fear hold you back. I know it's easier said than done, Journey, but that's why we start small, okay?
All right, we're back. I hope you enjoyed that clip. The man has chops, doesn't he? So who was that actress that you were in that scene with?
Oh, that was Vanessa Baden Kelly. She won an Emmy for that.
She won an Emmy for that.
Yeah.
And man, it looks so good.
Thanks, man.
And your acting, man, was phenomenal. Yeah. The different levels and just the stillness and the coolness of the way you delivered.
Oh, thank you, brother.
I learned a lot from you, brother.
Dude, I learned a lot from you, man. I do, man. I love your work too. I appreciate you saying that.
Man, my man. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, sir.
So,
whoa. See, this is what he does to me. See,
I wore this on purpose. Phi Beta Sigma.
That's why I did this to him.
Alpha Phi Alpha.
It's all war right here. It's war on the Simeon Henderson Show right now.
But it's all good.
Rat war.
Because he's covered in blue and white.
I am. I didn't realize that. Wow.
So, man, Carl, man, it's exciting. So, everybody, Carl is here from California in the cold weather of Chicago. Hey, the Bears won, though.
Yeah.
They finally won a game.
Yeah.
And we beat Detroit.
Well, you know,
And
Detroit loses all the time.
Speaking of Detroit,
they've been losing for 30 years.
Speaking of Detroit, what was the name of that radio station you worked for?
WGPR 107.5, Soul and Stereo.
Well, we know he'll never be out of work. With a voice like that, he'll never be out of work. And women, you better be careful because you will probably never be out of, I ain't gonna say it.
I'm married.
Yeah, he is.
The ring there.
So here we go.
Yes.
Let's get into it. Carl, you've done a plethora of work. I mean, I remember you moved to LA in 1985.
Yeah.
And I think I was born in 83.
Thank you for that.
So, but let me tell you something. It's almost like you're ageless.
Really?
Yeah, man, you still look the same.
Yeah, but my knees hurt.
Yeah, that happens. That happens. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What got you started in the world of acting? What made you want to be a thespian?
Oh, man. When I was a kid growing up here in Chicago, I used to go to the movies every Saturday downtown and get on the L train.
Did you get a super transfer?
I don't remember, but I would get on the train and right on State Street and like Randolph, the Oriental Theater, the Chicago Theater, State Lake Theater, they would have first run movies and my mom would give me like a couple of dollars and I would come down and see everything. And I've always been in love with cinema and the world of movie making and started very early. And, I don't know, I just kind of grew into it.
Right.
My mama didn't say, you shouldn't do that. My mom wanted me to do something else.
Right.
I, wanted to make movies and it started right here in Chicago.
So before we keep going,
Evergreen Plaza, they still have movie theaters there?
You said
Evergreen Plaza, they still have
yes.
movies? They have movies still at the movie theater?
No, Ever Black ain't Ever Black no more.
I used to go to Evergreen Plaza, and then there was another theater called the Beverly Theater on Ashland.
Yes, the Beverly, yes.
I mean, that's why I used to go to the movies.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
all the
Beverly.
time.
So I don't want to skip over something.
What?
So you said that your mom would give you a couple of dollars,
Yeah.
and you would go to a lot of movies.
Yes.
Do you know it costs like $15 to go to the
It used to
movies
cost
now?
75 cents when I went to the movies. 50 cents, 75 cents.
And you can watch more than one.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I would sit there and watch the same movies all day long. I mean, I was bananas. I would sit there and watch it. Peter Sellers, Shot in the Dark, all the James Bond films,
Yes.
Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon, Sidney Poitier. I would sit there and watch these films over and over all day long.
So what was your inspiration watching those movies? When you watched those movies, evidently you were intrigued.
Yes.
What was it about them that made you say, I want to do that?
The wanting to do, I was always intrigued with it, but I think that the wanting to do it happened a little later. I don't know. I think, Glenn Turman was a big influence on me.
Okay.
And I first saw Glenn, I was about 15 or 16 when I saw Cooley High. I think that was a movie that really turned it for me. But even as a kid, I wanted to, tell jokes. I wanted to be a comedian. I wanted to be in the business.
Right.
I'd watch a lot of TV. Like, you wouldn't know this, but there was a guy that was on TV called the Red Skelton Show on CBS when I was a kid. You don't know that.
Definitely.
Google Red Skelton. You'll see.
Red Skelton.
Red Skelton.
Red Skelton.
All of you old people would know what I'm talking about. CBS Sunday nights. And I would watch that and, comedians and all the great comics of the day, Don Rickles, Red Skelton, as I mentioned, Bill Cosby, Joey Bishop, all these guys. And I just wanted to be a part of that world. I didn't really know how it was going to work out. But once I saw Glenn and Cooley High, I was 15, 16 years old. That's when it turned in my head.
Okay.
That I think I want to do this. And then it just kind of went from there.
And speaking of Cooley High, when I was in LA, when we won our award for Black and Privilege, Lawrence Jacobs also won an award.
Wow, yeah. Larry, I know Larry. He's a great guy.
Yeah. So, man, really cool guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
know him.
super down to earth.
Yeah.
We did a couple of pictures, interviews. It was he's really cool.
He's got a show on UMC now.
Yeah, that's what he won an
called,
award for.
A House Divided.
Yes.
He's the lead on that.
So, but the cool thing is to see that he's still working after 30 years.
Yep.
He's still working and still kicking butt.
Yep.
Just like you. Still working and still kicking butt.
Still kicking butt. It's a long distance run, Simeon Henderson.
So here we go. Yeah. This is what I want to get into with you for a few minutes. Okay. Talking about the longevity of the business. So anybody that's in a business, inspires to be in a business, inspires to have some success in a business, take your pen and paper out because you're about to get a couple nuggets that can help you. Yeah. Okay? I got the video. You'll have the video too. So let me ask you this. When it comes to just hanging in there, because it's a tough business, we get told no a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot of doors closed. Yeah. And a lot of next time, try again. What was it like for you pushing through all of that?
I think for me, I'm a man of faith, so I think that is the biggest thing. But also trying to keep really solid, positive people around me,
Right.
And keeping a positive attitude. And then the other thing for me is I'm not ashamed to do whatever it takes to eat.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you might bartend.
Oh,
you might bag some groceries.
I don't bag no groceries like that. But I find ways to keep food in my
Right.
belly, you
Right.
know, and keep myself available for opportunities.
Yes, sir.
Which is really every actor's
Yes, sir.
thing. And yeah, you're doing it. I mean, I see you. I mean, you're doing stuff to keep food
Yeah,
on the table,
yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So that's really the answer. I think when people try to push themselves into a position where they're not ready for, or it's not going to happen for them yet, and they become very despondent and disappointed, and begin to see everything negatively, then that's the way that you're going to be done. It's really about what's going on up here, and everybody's not the same either, you know. So you can't compare your journey with somebody else.
Come on,
you know?
son.
So that's the other thing.
Come
'Cause
on.
I got friends who are just killing the game.
Yes.
I came up with, and you know, I just have to, you know, believe that my turn will come.
Yes, sir.
Like that, because their success is theirs and mine's gonna be mine. So
What's for you is for you.
Exactly.
And what's for me is for me.
Exactly.
And when we understand that, and you understand the journey.
Yes.
Okay, the journey. It's a journey. In life, there's journeys, and there are going to be people that comes along on your journey. You might surpass them. They might surpass you.
And you might switch up. You go
And
just like that.
it's like I always say, he's a man of faith, and you know I am. And I always say, you know, I love the verse, the first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. And what you have to understand about that is, when you're first, you on point. And when you're last, is because somebody else has to come first.
Right.
But you're successful
But
because
you,
you were
support,
first.
But you always support people.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and that's really, I think, also the key is being a servant, having a servant's heart, and just kind of banking up all those opportunities where you've served, because all of it comes back eventually. So that's kind of how I've tried to carry myself, you know, is in that way, just being a servant to people and being there for folk when they need me. And, you know, that's pretty much it.
You get that?
I mean, that's it. I mean,
Learn how to be humble.
learn how to be humble, be a servant, and wait your turn.
There it is. There it is. And if you can
And
do
don't be
those things-
discouraged. I mean, you will have discouraging days.
Yes.
I'm not saying you can't be discouraging days. Don't be discouraged
Right.
over days and months, because if that happens, you're over.
And you have to know who you are.
Oh, that's
I tell people all the time, you have to know who you are and whose you are, but you have to understand that you're unique. Your talents and your gifts will make room for you
no one
if
can
you
do
allow
Simeon
them.
Henderson like Simeon Henderson.
That's it.
Or Carl Gilliard.
That's
like
it.
Carl Gilliard.
There's only one Carl Gilliard and there's only one Simeon Henderson. Actually, there's two, because I have a son named Simeon Henderson. But
but even he's his own individual son with
yes,
the same
he is.
name.
He's very,
You know?
because he can rap. I
So,
can't rap.
Yeah, I can't
He can
rap
sing.
either.
I can't sing.
My son sings and
I can
raps,
sing a little
and
bit.
I can't do none of that. He dances too, which is really off my grid.
So let me ask you this. So we get to see who you are, where you come from, and how you stay motivated and how you stay grounded. What's next for Carl?
In terms of the business?
In terms of the business, in terms of family, in terms of what you see
okay.
yourself doing this next year. 2020 is the year.
Okay. Well, you know, I've got like 4 films out right now on various platforms. You can rent them or Amazon.
And what are they?
Prime. All Between Us is on Amazon Prime. It's with Brian Hooks and Tiffany Haddish before she became huge. In fact, she became huge is when they released the movie.
Of course.
Yeah, and another film called Doe. It's for rent. You can get it on various platforms. And a vampire film called Vampire Wars, directed by my friend Craig Ross Jr. And then what's the other one? The other one just came out. Dead Con.
I saw
Dead Con.
I saw a trailer for
Yeah,
that.
it's another
and
horror film.
The horror film
Yeah.
and the vampire
I don't know
film.
how I get in these horror films.
I am
so scared.
There was a
I'm a
scene.
scary guy. I don't go to see horror movies. And I got 2 horror movies out right now. What is that about? That's God like laughing at me.
Were you scared when you were filming it?
Yes.
Wasn't there a scene when you guys was it in a hotel? Or you were in some type of room?
Yeah.
And I said, look,
I read the
Carl.
script. I'm like, I am scared of this. I'm not going to see this. But, you know, it turns out I did watch the film, and it's not as bad as the script in terms of the scariness of it. But, in fact, it's kind of a teeny bopper kind of film.
Right.
It's made for. But, you know, you just do the job, and the people I've met on this film were amazing. They were really great to me, so.
I saw. It looked tough. You look good. You look good.
Thank you.
Now, let me ask you this before we get out of here.
Let me tell you one more thing. Okay, this is important. So I am shooting my first web series. It's my show.
Right.
And we start January 11th.
Okay.
And it's called 2 Degrees.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that. I really am. So
is it going to be what? 10-minute, 30-minute segments?
8 to 12 minutes.
8 to 12 minutes.
6. I haven't decided. It was, right now it's 8 episodes, but it might be 6.
8 episodes.
For the first season.
You got something in there for a cool chocolate brother? You know I fly to LA in a minute. Give me a reason.
The funny thing is, the show, without getting too much into it, the show is about me. Everybody's playing themselves in this show. I'm playing myself, and all of my friends are playing themselves.
That's dope.
So it's going to be my life, but it's going to be extreme.
That's dope.
But very, improv comedy. So that's what it is.
That's dope.
Yeah. So but it's going to be, because people say to me all the time, they say, Carl, you know everybody. Everybody knows you. I said, okay, that's interesting. So I should do a show about it.
That is.
So that's really what it is. We're going to use real situations in my life and set stuff up. And it'll be fun.
So art imitates life.
Yeah,
that's
for real.
And what's going to be the name of it again?
2 Degrees.
2 Degrees. So I'm thinking, they say 6 degrees of separation.
Exactly.
With you,
it's actually with Black Hollywood for me, it's 1 degree.
I heard.
For me, it's 1 degree.
That's what
Black Hollywood.
Brother Bill was talking about that. He's like, man, Carl know everybody.
I don't know. I've been around for 30 years, man. I think that's why. And I've, pissed off maybe 2%. So, if you 30 years of meeting people and working with folk, and you piss off 2%, that's how you get to know everybody.
That is cool.
You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this: who's some up and coming? Who are some of the up and coming directors or writers that you would like to work with?
Up and coming. Mark Harris would be good.
You hear that, Mark? Because I know we're going to be doing Black and Privilege again.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I see just doing the work.
Yeah, okay.
And when I work with great people, and there's so many wonderful actors and directors and producers out there, and many of whom you don't know who they are.
Right.
So, like even with the DeadCon and with Doe, for example, Doe was an excellent film, and the guy who directed his name is Justin Foyer. I never heard of him, but he's incredible. The dude is like, the movie is incredible.
Yes.
So,
where can people see that?
Where can people see it? Anywhere. I mean, Amazon, video on demand. Okay. YouTube, wherever. It's out there, man. Voodoo, VUDU.
And that new one, Tubi, T-U-B-I.
Tubi's like, they play all the Black movies. They play all the
they do. They got like 8 of my movies on Tubi.
Dolomite's on there. I went to see Dolomite. When Dolomite came out, I said, I gotta watch some Dolomite movies. So I went back and watched all this old, P.D. Williams, White Straw, Dolomite 1, 2, 3. I watched all of it. I used to watch that stuff.
And if you want to know what he's talking about, inbox me and I'll give you his information. Yes. No, we're talking about the old movies, all the young people.
Okay. Cotton Comes to Harlem's on there. You know about that.
So tell everybody where they can find you at.
Oh, you can find me on Facebook, Carl Gilliard, all one word. Carl R. Gilliard, Carl Gilliard on Twitter, Carl Gilliard on Instagram. It's because I might forget my name. So I just name everything my name in case I forget. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all Carl Gilliard. You can follow me there, find me there, and say hi. And say you saw me on the Simeon Henderson show in Chicago with the blue stuff on this wrist.
You already know.
Yeah, that's okay though. I got you though.
Man, I just want to say thank you so much, man, for gracing my show with your presence, man. Pleasure, it's an honor to sit down with you. When you agreed to do it, I was elated, brother, because I've been watching you for years. I admire your work. I admire your spirit.
Thank you.
And you're not just as an artist, but as a man. And we need more of that.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
So everybody, you're watching the Simeon Henderson Show, where we're giving a voice to the people. We had King Melik on the show, talented young phenom. We have Mr. Carl Gilliard, and he is a force to be reckoned with. Make sure you check out his work. It's all on video demand. Just type in Carl Gilliard. That's Gillliard.
Gilliard.
So, like I always say, remember, be symbolic, because being deeply rooted stimulates growth. Simply be your best. In Philippians 4:13, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. We'll see you next time on the Simeon Henderson Show, and we out.
Out!